What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. And I'm actually going to pause and give you guys a second to do that, because I know sometimes you're watching a video, you don't want to stop to subscribe, but then you're going to forget. So I'm going to give you guys a second to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay, you done it? You're good? Great. So today I'm going to be talking about how to do your own public relations. So what is PR? A lot of people have never heard of PR, and some people have heard of it, but they're not exactly sure what it is. Jeff Bezos describes PR as what people say about you when you're not in the room, and that can be very true. Public relations is pretty much your reputation. The goal of PR is to bring awareness to your brand and to get as many people talking about you or your brand as possible. PR is important because no one can do business with a brand if they don't know that they exist. PR helps you to stand out amongst the other thousands of businesses or musicians or actors or authors who do the exact same thing that you do. And if you watch my video on how to become verified on Instagram, then you do know that PR is an important aspect when it comes to being Googleable. And if you didn't get a chance to watch that video, you can watch it right here. So public relations has a lot of different aspects to it, such as speaking engagements, sponsorships and deals, high-end collaborations, red carpet events, premieres, the use of influencers, and of course, media coverage. For this video, I will only be focusing on the media coverage aspect. If you would like for me to do a video on how to obtain the speaking engagements, the collaborations, or the other things that I mentioned, leave me a comment down below and let me know. But you guys have been specifically asking me to do one on media coverage, so that's what I'm going to focus on in this video. So the first thing you want to focus on is your USP, or your unique selling point. What makes you different from other beauty suppliers, from other technicians, from other credit repair services? What is it that you have to offer? What problem do you solve? And what solution do you give? These are things that you would have defined when you were developing your brand, so I'm not going to dig too deep into those, but this is pretty much the information that you need to know before you attempt to gain media coverage. Next, you want to make sure that you know your target audience. Some people are super vague with this, and that is where they make the biggest mistakes. You need to know more about your audience than just their age and location. What do they like to do? Where do they hang out? Where do they spend money? Do they have children? What makes them happy? What makes them sad? What are their pain points? There's a reason that you don't see Viagra advertisements on Instagram, and it's because 60-year-old men with erectile dysfunction are not sitting at home scrolling through Instagram. You have to know which media outlet to use to reach your target audience. You're only going to know this if you know exactly who your target audience is and how they consume media. Now, a lot of business owners struggle with self-promotion. That's something you're gonna have to throw out the window. You started your business, you developed your brand. That is a wonderful accomplishment. And in order to really get it to where you wanna go, you're gonna have to promote yourself. Now, a great place to start with PR is with the press release. Press releases can be done to put out any type of acknowledgement, any type of celebration, any type of newsworthy content that is relevant. So if you've published a new book, if you've changed up your board of directors, if you have a new collaboration, press releases can be a great way to put out information. A press release can get you media coverage, it can get you attention from journalists, it can get you shares on other platforms, or it can just inform the public of a major announcement that's going on in your business. I will do a video on how to write an effective press release if you don't know how, or you can look it up, or you can pay someone to do it. But a press release is a great place to start for obtaining media coverage. Something else you can try is called HARO. Help a reporter out, and I will put that link down in the description. HARO is a wonderful source. I'm even gonna go ahead and insert a little clip here so you can see how to use it. So if you go to Google and type in help a reporter out, it's the very first link that pops up. Again, it's called HARO. You want to click on that. And then you're going to come over and click I'm a source. So this is a great place that journalists and sources use to either obtain a media coverage or to give media coverage. Here it kind of gives you a little bit more information about what they do and when they do it. So they send out emails 3 times a day. But you can come down here and click subscribe now. I always use the basic one. There are ones you can pay for them and it kind of gives you a little bit more. But again, I stick to the basic and that's worked well for me. But if you are hoping to do maybe a little bit more, or if you have other goals, then you can pay for the more advanced ones. But if you want to stick to the basic, you simply click on sign up And then you're gonna put your information in. And down here, they even give you a little bit of the outlets who use HARO. So ABC, Refinery, the New York Times, Time, Fox News, a lot of notable media outlets use this source. This will also be a great source for you to use. Another way to obtain media coverage is with guest posting. I'm also going to insert a clip here to show you guys how that works as well. So again, you can go back to Google and you're going to simply type in Google Write for Us. And as you can see, all the ones that popped up, I use this for my clients. And then you'll just put your niche in. So I'm going to put beauty. Write for Us beauty. And it's going to give you a list of credible online outlets that you can actually submit information to. So I'm just going to randomly click one. We'll just go with the first one that pops up here. So what it does, it actually tells you what they're looking for. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that what you have to offer and what they're looking for actually matches. Then it tells you how to submit your information. So what you're pretty much doing, you're writing down any knowledge that you have on a topic. It can be entertaining, it can be educational, anything that has to do with beauty. And then you're gonna wanna find outlets that match up with that. And you can easily send that information in and get it published on their sites. What you wanna do is make sure that you're always meeting the guidelines. You're gonna be wasting your time and theirs if you're sending in information or articles and it's not what they're looking for, because it's never gonna get published. This is going to help you garnish that media coverage, as well as help make you Googleable. Because when you send in these articles, when you send in these information, when you send in these guest posts, it's you talking and then has your information at the bottom. So it's not only going to put your name out there, but because it's being published on a reputable site, it helps you to stand out as an expert, and it's helping drive more traffic back to your site. So for example, Forbes allows you to guest post on them. If I just come up with some random example, let's say that you're wonderful at marketing. So you write an article on how to do marketing. You send it to Forbes. Forbes publishes your article online. At the bottom, they're gonna have your bio, a picture of you, and a link back to your website. So now if someone's looking up how to market, they come across a Forbes article, they click on it, and now you are the one giving them the information. They wanna learn more about you, and they now follow your link back to your website. They now follow your link back to your social media, and there you are driving traffic back to you. Plus, because your name is now on such a reputable site, it does increase your Google rankings. And then the third way that you guys can obtain that media coverage is by simply pitching yourself to journalists. This can take a bit of practice if you're not used to it, because for one, you have to make yourself sound interesting. You have to have an interesting story to tell, and it has to be relevant. It needs to be something that's going on in the news, something that people are going to learn about, or anything like that. Like I said, this does take practice because journalists are pitched to thousands of times a day. If you don't know how to pitch yourself, it's likely that your email won't even be opened. A great way to find journalists is actually social media, particularly Twitter. Journalists love hanging out on Twitter, and they will advertise the fact that they're journalists. It's going to be in their bio. Writer for the New York Times, writer for this, writer for that. That's a great way to find them and simply introduce yourself. Do not pitch yourself on social media. Pitching yourself through social media is not gonna work unless you're like super famous and they're just happy to hear from you. You don't wanna pitch yourself through social media. You want to always pitch yourself through email. However, introducing yourself is gonna increase the chances that they actually open your email, because now you're a familiar name, you're someone that they've spoken to, someone that they know a little bit more about, as opposed to people cold emailing them that they know nothing about, trying to pitch them a story. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're not super stalky. You don't want to harass them about, doing a story on you. You can follow up, but you wanna make sure there's enough time between when you pitch the story and when you follow up. Usually a week is a good time, and you don't wanna follow up a bunch of times, and you don't want to pitch them the same story multiple times. If they did not care about your story last week and you try to pitch it again next week, and then the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, that does not increase your chances of being featured. It actually increases your chances of being blocked. What is it? The power is in the follow-up. The power is in the follow-up. I think that's a saying. I may have that wrong. I'm not sure. But it's true. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a response the first time unless you and that journalist are just really close and y'all worked together a lot in the past. If you're pitching a journalist that you've never worked with before, you're likely not going to get a response the very first time. You're going to want to make sure you follow up. Follow up is where you're going to receive majority of your responses from. So if you don't hear back from them, don't get super discouraged. A lot of times they're just super busy. They may have opened it and thought they responded and forgot to. They may have simply not had time to, and then it slipped their mind. Follow up and then wait for a response. If you don't get a response after follow up, it's possible that it just wasn't a good time for that article, or that they already had a lot other things going on. So in that case, simply pitch yourself to another journalist. This is also a time where you want to make sure that you're following your target audience, because if you pitch a story that doesn't relate to their target audience, they're not going to run that story. Again, Viagra is not pitching stories to People magazine, because 60-year-old men are not reading People magazine. So you want to make sure that your target audience lines up with the target audience of the media outlet that you're pitching to. Leave me a comment down below, guys, if you want me to go into more details about any of this, or if you have any questions. And of course, my social medias are always open. You guys are wonderful at sending me messages. Feel free to send me questions. If you have them, feel free to send me content if you guys want me to do any particular videos, or if you need me to go into any more details. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. And again, if you have not subscribed already, please go ahead and do so down below right now. Press the bell notification so that you will be alerted every time I post a new video. I am so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I want to thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys later. Peace.
Did I say offer in that? I said offer twice. It's so ugly.
PR is important. Why does it look like I have horns sitting right here? I look like the devil. Oh, it's that chair back there. I'm not reshooting this whole clip. I'm just gonna have to scoot up a little bit.